A very common reason for low writing scores is misunderstanding the question. Candidates might be able to write well in English, but for the wrong task. In this lesson, we'll look at the 5 main IELTS writing, Task 2 question types, and how to recognise them instantly. The first and most common type is the opinion question. These questions ask for your view and often use phrases like, "Do you agree or disagree?" "To what extent do you agree or disagree?" Or, "Do you think this is a positive or negative development?" For example, employees should be paid for sick leave. Do you agree or disagree? Here the examiner wants a clear opinion and reasons. In the writing system, you normally give your opinion in the introduction and support it with 2 main arguments in the body paragraphs. The second type is the discussion question. These prompts present 2 different views and then ask you to discuss both views and give your own opinion. For example, some people argue that art should be taught at schools, while others claim that this takes time away from more important subjects. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. With this type, you need to explain both sides fairly before giving your own view. The simplest structure is 1 body paragraph for each view, followed by a conclusion with your opinion. A more advanced option uses binary pairs, for example, analysing each view in terms of individual versus society, or short-term versus long-term impact. The third type is the problem and solution question. These essays might ask you to explain the causes of a problem, the effects of a problem, and/or suggest solutions. A typical example is, research suggests that the number of cases of mental disorders is on the rise in industrialised countries. Why could this be? What could be done to prevent mental illness in the developed world? Here you could use 1 body paragraph for reasons or causes and 1 body paragraph for solutions. The skill you'll learn in this course, especially cause and effect grammar, is perfect for this kind of question. The fourth type is the advantage-disadvantage question. These prompts ask you to compare the benefits and drawbacks of a situation, and sometimes ask whether the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. For instance, some experts believe that it is better for children to begin learning a foreign language at primary school rather than secondary school. Do the advantages of this outweigh the disadvantages? Binary planning is very powerful here. You can look at advantages and disadvantages in terms of, for example, short-term versus long-term, or individual versus education system, and build your paragraphs around those pairs. The fifth type is the 2-part question. These prompts ask 2 separate questions about the same topic. A typical example is, in developed countries today, many people are choosing less demanding jobs in favour of more relaxed lifestyles. What are the reasons for this? Do you think it is a positive trend? In this case, 1 body paragraph should answer the first question, the reasons, and the second body paragraph should answer the second question, your opinion on whether the trend is positive. Your introduction and conclusion must mention both parts so that your task response score is protected. In the real exam, the wording may vary, but the structure behind the question will almost always fit into one of these 5 types. Your first job, before you plan any ideas, is to identify the type. Ask yourself, is this mainly asking for my opinion, for a discussion for causes and solutions, for advantages and disadvantages, or for answers to 2 separate questions? Once you know the type, you can choose the right version of the system paragraph plan. You'll know how many main ideas you need and what job each body paragraph should do. This stops you from going off topic, and it makes it easier for the examiner to see that you have answered all parts of the task. In the next lesson, we'll go deeper into the binary planning technique, a thinking tool that helps you generate and connect ideas quickly for any of these question types. If you haven't already, download the coursebook through the link below. It expands on this lesson and will guide you through the other videos.